All right, please give this channel a chance if you can, and please give my other channels a chance. And if you like the content, please consider supporting the channel via channel membership. So let's get right to it. I am going to go straight forward. I will do the context very quick. Of course, we all know that Jeffrey and Donalis here were friends who go back a long, long time together. But more recently, like months ago, Trump was like, Epstein? Jeffrey? Why are we talking about Jeffrey Epstein? I don't know anything about that. Well, there we go. So he made a pledge, including Pam Bondi, that they would release all kinds of files on Jeffrey Epstein. But now they're like, Epstein files? What Epstein files? I don't know what you're talking about. So the Democrats, being Democrats, are taking advantage of this and are trying to release all these extra documents. Now, do I seriously think Democrats care about these victims or these girls? No. We all know it's opportunistic, right? Jeffrey Epstein had a lot of liberal and Democrats. The guy had everyone at this island, apparently. It's insane how many people visited this island. It's ridiculous. And is this going anywhere? Are we turning anything up? Well, apparently, yes. And this is pretty smoking gun. It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane. Now, I will forewarn, I can't give names because they've been redacted, but apparently this is a real quote from Epstein. And Epstein says, victim, obviously, we know probably who it is, but we're not going to say the name, spent hours at my house with him. Epstein said of Trump in a 2011 email. Also, Virginia, one of the victims who recently died, but in her memoir, she says that she saw Trump, and this is a direct quote, couldn't have been friendlier, end quote, and that he definitely was aware of all the very young girls that Epstein was, put him mildly, hanging around with, right? And this is from Trump himself. People were taken out of the spa hired by him. In other words, gone. And this is just in July. But when asked about Virginia, he's like, and by the way, he's trying to defend himself, saying, yeah, he stole her, right? In other words, he was, wait, why were you having to protect her? It's like, well, reasons. And again, this is not from the recently released emails or texts. This is actually from 2002. This is Trump talking about Jeffrey. He's a lot of fun to be with. And he's even said that he likes beautiful women, as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. How young? Well, he didn't quite say. So, yeah, I mean, this is just like Trump trying to deny reality every day, that he and Epstein go back years and years, have been to tons of parties, etc., etc. But now it's like, he doesn't exist. That never happened. It's like, did I visit? Yeah, a few times. He saw me, I saw him, but that's about it. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about immigrations and immigrants, and I'm not gonna. We're not gonna talk about that. And let us continue because, Jeffrey is being very frank about what he really thinks of Donald. So this is from a 2018 email. I know how dirty Donald is. Oh boy. Oh boy. And in a 2019 email, Epstein told Michael Wolff that his ex-friend, Trump, quote, knew about the girls, end quote. All right. And in a 2011 email to Maxwell, he writes, I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. So Trump is being named. He's being explicitly named. So we're moved away from the alleged, maybe, speculative. No, he's naming names, and he's naming Donalis. So is there any bright light here? Well, I'm going to be honest, because I know some people, when they are going to report this, are going to be like, Donalis, da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, again, Jeffrey is saying, yes, he knew. He definitely knew about the abuse. He knew the victims, so he knew what was going on. You can't deny that. However, he did not participate directly. So there you go. Now, is Jeffrey being a little worried that Donalis could retaliate? Don't know. Again, we're just at the beginning. There's more documents to be released. But yeah, Donalis having selective memory and amnesia and saying, I don't remember. Jeffrey? I mean, we met a few times, but he's like a loser. I don't hang out with losers. Yeah, that's not really sustainable. I mean, we have it now verified in print. And again, whether you like the Dems or not, I'm very mixed on all politicians, just to state where I stand. Now they have the majority. Okay, so they don't need Denali. They don't need the Republicans. So apparently next week they're going to vote again and going to release more material. So this may be just the beginning. And Denali has responded saying that the Democrats are just trying to distract people from the shutdown, even though Donald caused the shutdown. So there you go. So he's like, they're just trying to distract from the shutdown. It's been 40 days. What's going on, my friends? And it's like, right, you engineered the shutdown. In fact, some people speculated he wanted the shutdown to distract from the Epstein files. So it's like, we're going in a big round circle. Like, on the record, him and Pam Bondi were saying, oh, we're going to release the files. We will release the files. And then they're like, files? No, we don't have no files. Why do you keep asking about the files? Because you said you were going to release the files. And it's like, no, we didn't say that. And it's like, yes, you did. So, yeah, this is just a big mess. And eventually he's going to have to address it. I mean, he's going to lie about it. We know that. Donald keeps lying about it now all the time, saying, Jeffrey, I mean, like, we met once or twice, but, yeah, I don't remember really. And he alleges that they had a falling out, which these emails are contradicting, saying, no, they were pretty friendly, right? They were very free with one another, and he is stating for the record that, yeah, Donald is dirty. Now, to be fair, dirty doesn't necessarily mean sex. He could be referring to Donald Trump breaking a lot of campaign election laws. So that's like, so to be fair to Donald, this doesn't always refer to the girls or to those victims. It just refers, generally speaking, he's a criminal. Like, the deep irony here is that the Epstein files are mostly getting attraction because, right, of these scandals with these young women and young girls. However, it could be they're going to reveal other times that Denali broke the law. And so Jeffrey beyond the grave may actually help put Donald in jail for his other crimes. Because with Trump, there's kind of every crime you could imagine: fraud, trafficking, perjury, you name it. He's done it. Stealing, thieving, lying. It's like, it's a whole gamut. And just to top it off, creme de la creme, chef's kiss, there's an old video. Again, I used to see The Apprentice. I'm not going to lie. The Apprentice was pretty fun. I think I only saw like the first 3 seasons, then it got kind of a little repetitive. But apparently in one of the apprentices or apprentices, Donald was praising P. Diddy. And it's like, oh, okay. That's very interesting. Saying he's a very nice, upstanding guy. Alrighty then. And now the rumor is that P. Diddy's going to ask Denali for a pardon. Now, I don't think Denali is that suicidal, frankly. That would be insane. That would be insane. Political. No, that's not going to work. There's really no incentive. However, he has been known to do the most crazy things. So it could be he's going to just try to pardon P. Diddy to get some attention off of himself. But I don't think that's going to happen. Still, P. Diddy is hoping that Denali will look kindly upon his crimes. Now, why would he do that? Well, the whole Jeffrey thing. So, yeah, the Jeffrey Epstein thing is not going to go away. It is this massive ink blot on Denali that just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And his lame attempts to distract people are just like, yeah, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. So will he address the thing directly and firmly? Who knows? Next week, more documents. They could find the smoking gun, and Denali will have to speak to a grand jury, and that will be that. I mean, he could perjure himself, but then he'd be going to jail for that too. And there you go.